Hello, everyone. It's 9 of 10 coming at you with another Sibling Zero. So, this, in 2 days, today's Friday, and Sunday, if everything is going to go according to plan, I'm going to get a chance to meet April. This is my last sister that I have yet to meet. I've met Linda. And then I flew down to Virginia and I met Elizabeth, and Denise and Nancy came into the city a couple of weeks ago and I met them. And last week I ended up having Denise and Linda over at my place. And this week, April, I'm so happy. We're going to be meeting here in the city, and we're going to be going to one of my favorite places, the Cloisters Museum. I grew up going to that museum so often. If memory serves, it's a real French medieval castle that was brought over here brick by brick and rebuilt. And it is probably the foremost medieval museum in New York City. And I love it so much. And April told me that she loves museums, so how can it not be a good day? But something has, let me switch hands. I forgot my selfie stick. Oh well. So there is something that's been on my mind about me and my siblings. And okay, so first of all, it's turned into this ritual that is fun, but it's more than the fact that it's fun. It's something that I've always wanted, and now. Okay, so every night before I go to bed, I make sure that I message or text my sisters, good night, I hope they had a good day and a better tomorrow. And then when I wake up in the morning, I send them a good morning message. And it's turned into this regular nightly and daily thing, which makes me feel awesome. Growing up as an only child, you joke about the way the old TV show The Waltons ended. And if you're unfamiliar with that, the show was classically known to end with an outside shot of the Waltons' house and the lights going out one by one, and you hear all the kids say goodnight to everyone. And ends off with goodnight, John Boy. And I kind of have that now. And, 50 years, you would never think that is going to be your life one day, acting like this, speaking like this, talking like this, having these daily thoughts in your mind. But because of that, it has brought sort of a sensation of feeling to me that also I wouldn't have expected having to experience. Now, what I'm talking about is the difference between siblings that get to grow up together and those that meet later in life, such as me and the other 7 surviving have met now. And that's this bond of familiarity that you have that's formed during an entire lifetime of growing up with someone, going side by side with someone. And that's the point now that I totally feel that lack, that it's not there, and it kind of should be. And because of this, I realized that, I'm the baby and I'm 50. My oldest sibling, Nancy, is 62. So meeting so late in life and having this big difference with age is one thing. And on top of that, we're all adults. We all have jobs and families. They all have children, grandchildren in some cases, and none of them live on top of me. None of them live in the city. Probably like a hour trip away, the closest one. So again, those bonds that we didn't get a chance to form while growing up, they're coming along, but it's slow. It's a little stunted. It's there, but it's, I wish it was there faster. I wish I had more time with my siblings. We have so much catching up to do. And it's difficult. It's hard to make the time when you're an adult, it's not easy. When you're an adult and you have miles between you, trying to simulate the creation of that bond that would have happened naturally from childhood on is a little difficult. It's not impossible, and especially since everyone involved, in this case, everyone involved, is looking for that, wants that. It's like Tantalus. It's kind of like Tantalus. Are you familiar with Tantalus from Greek mythology? I forgot exactly what he did to be cursed in the afterlife. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting that. But his punishment was eternal thirst and eternal hunger, and he was placed in water up to his chin. And if he tried to take a sip, the water would lower, so he could never take a sip. And hanging above his head was fruit off of trees, but whenever he would reach up for it, it would move up and it would get out of his reach, and he couldn't get anything. He was tantalized by the food and water. And I kind of feel like Tantalus in that sense, is that this is all here. It's right here in front of me to just grab and take, but it's kind of not. And that's why I feel like Tantalus. It's right here in front of me. I'm smelling it. I'm smelling the fruit. I can smell those apples hanging off the tree. But life, time, family, it makes things difficult. Not impossible. But I kind of wish this was happening a little faster. I wish we all were just a little bit closer. I wish we all had a little bit more time. But we're going to make the best of it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have the time that we have, and we can't ask for anything more. I mean, really, I feel blessed that I'm given this time as it is. Missing them for my life for so long, and looking for them for 20 years, and not finding them until I'm 50. It's not there. It's happening. It's budding, but it's not there. It's this bond unmade. Not unmade in the sense that it was there and it was disassembled. No, it's a bond that should be a bond, but was never made a bond. It was unbonded from the beginning. But slowly, we're gonna change this. Me and my sisters and my brothers, we'll change this as much as we can. And we're going to have a great time with each other. And here's the thing. It's not just my siblings. I mean, yes, there are 7 other of me. Can you handle that? There are 7 other of me, but they're not the only ones I want to connect with. They're not the only ones that want to connect with me. I literally cannot tell you how many nieces and nephews I have because I don't know yet. I don't know. It sounds silly, but it's, it just goes back to lack of time, I guess. I've been trying to reach out to them. I know 3 of them, 2 nephews and a niece I'm starting to become fairly close with, and I definitely love that, and I love giving them the chance to get to know me and have yet another positive, adult male role model in their life who's looking out for them. That means a lot to me. It means the world to me that I can be the uncle I always wanted to be, and that they can have an uncle that is another uncle they want, or maybe they don't have the uncle they want, and I have a chance to be that. So there's so many people. I went into this with my father's knowledge before he passed away, telling me that my birth family had 4 or 5 kids. That got doubled. So twice as much as everything. Twice as much of everything means twice as much time is needed. And we're trying to make it. But at least I'm making some time this Sunday for my sister April. And I don't know why. I asked Denise and Linda this, and it meant nothing to them. So I don't know where I'm getting this from. And if you watch this, April, especially if you watch this before I meet you, maybe it'll mean something to you. I don't know. But if not, I'll bring it up to you when I see you, April. But that's a really weird thing going on in my head that I kind of have to correct myself. Every time I think of you, April, for some reason, the image of a robin pops up in my head. I don't know why, but it's weird. It's strange. You're my little bird. All right, so that's what's getting ready to go on. That is what's going on, and that's what will be happening soon enough. I'll definitely be, giving you another experience with what's going on after I meet April, and I'll be talking about that. And there'll be some pictures. Ah, yes, there'll be pictures. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in and seeing what it is I have on my mind on this subject, this adoption subject. And if you are an adoptee and you're looking, please, please, if it's in your heart, don't stop. No matter how frustrating it gets, no matter how many walls you think you hit, if it's in your heart to do this, do it. Don't ever let it stop. 20 years it took me. I know people that have been looking even longer than that. I've read stories. But at least if you live in New York, if you live in New York State, you do have a new promise. A new boon has been given to all adoptees in New York State because our Governor Cuomo has signed the bill that if you're an adoptee and you're at least 18 years of age, you can submit to the state and you can see your real birth certificate that will have your birth parents, your biological parents' names on it. So please, if you're an adoptee in New York and you've been hitting a wall, go do this right away. Do it. It'll get you some answers. Maybe not every answer you want, but the answers will be there. All right, so I'll be back in touch. Thank you very much for joining me and seeing what's on my mind on this subject.